Today on the podcast, we have Rukayat, popularly known as Ruki, founder and owner of Ashabi. Ruki, over to you.
Thank you very much for having me here. I am very excited to, have conversations about businesses and what it takes to run a business. And
yes, but before we get into that, because I feel like I haven't seen you in a bit, how have you been? How's your week been? Summer is here. Are you outside? Are you inside? What's going on?
Well, to answer the last question, we outside.
Period. I love that.
But I've been good. It has been a while since I think last time we saw each other was in February.
It's been a minute.
Yeah, but I've been good. Work, travel. I took my first international vacation.
Yes, I saw that. I love the concept. I was like, I love to see Black girls having joy, getting flued out, having a good time. I love that.
Shout out to my sugar daddy.
Shout out to him, because I was like, look at my girl looking well taken care of. Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that.
No, I was very intentional with that vacation to ensure that I actually got the needed rest, because work has been busy. Ashabi, like my business has been busy as well. We're launching new products. We're expanding to answer a question that, a specific gender has been asking for a long time ago. So we're expanding into that and trying out new things. And I'm excited for that. It's been busy planning the photo shoot and the pop-up that is coming up this month,
talk about
actually.
that. We will talk about that.
To summarize, I've been busy.
You've been busy.
Yeah.
Busy. I feel that.
How about you? How have you been?
Child, I've been busy. I've also been sick. There's been a bit of flu going around, but this strain is stronger. But I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm also just launching this podcast because you're one of our very first guests, right? So just been busy launching this, running around. I also work full time, so we're gonna talk about that more, managing your full time job with your business. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I've been feeling a bit burnt out. So I'm trying to see how I can make some lifestyle changes to accommodate for that and feel better, be more rested.
Yeah.
I need a vacation. It has to happen soon. But I don't know how to take a break. So we're gonna talk about that. I want to get some tips from you, how you are able to disconnect from your full-time job, from your business, to go on a trip with your man. You had a great time. You came back rested. I want to learn from you. But before we get into all of that, tell me a bit more about Ashabi. I call it Ashabi Beads, but I just found out today that the name is Ashabi. So tell me a bit more about that.
Yes. So my business is Ashabi. That's the name of the brand. That's the name of the business. But it's commonly referred to as Ashabi Beads. And that's because that's the Instagram handle.
Oh.
Also because that was the first initial name. But I was, thinking about it, if I was to expand in the future, I didn't want it to just be so limited
narrow
in terms of beads. So I decided to go with Ashabi. And I also got confirmation from God about the name too, because I was thinking and praying about it, do I keep Ashabi or do I just change to Ashabi Beads? And God just said, in my dream, actually, I heard Ashabi. I was like, all right.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm going to say no more.
That's it.
That was it.
I love that. Because a lot of people don't talk about the amount of work that goes into naming your business. I had a panic attack when I was trying to name SoPlugged. I'm just the name I really wanted at first, or I thought I wanted. I'd even design the logo based on that name. And it didn't occur to me to check if it was available as a domain. And then it was
something else that we don't.
Nobody talks about the work that goes into the planning that goes into naming your business and getting, especially if it's I was the plug, because I wanted people to think, Black people, you think about your plug is someone that puts you on.
Who's your plug?
Yeah. So I was I wanted to have something like that, and it was it's taking, and I'm nobody warned me about it. I was actually heartbroken. Did you have something similar when you were trying to name your business?
Well, funny story. Ashabi is actually one of my names.
Oh, yeah. What does it mean?
It means chosen for birth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And, at the beginning, choosing the name was just, it's my name. Let me just use it. I want it to be a legacy, something I leave behind. But not a lot of people know that that's my name. It's only close friends and my family members that know that that's one of my names. But again, speaking of the confirmation I got from God, the name means chosen for birth. And in 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 7, I think it is, says you are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood.
Yes. Preaching it. Preach.
And that also was like, okay, like this is actually, the name is the right name. In terms of finding a domain, there is actually a business called Ashabi Wears. So that their website is, I think, ashabiwears.com or something like that. But I was never looking at .com. I was looking at .ca. And a lot of people tell me, why would you choose .ca? No, .com is easier. That's what everybody does. And I'm like, well, I mean, even if it's .com or .ca, if God says this business is what I want you to do, if God says it's gonna, become what it needs to become, it doesn't matter what the suffix is. Exactly, it's going to work out.
And while you're on the topic of .com.ca, something else I found out while I was trying to pick out my business name and domain was .ca is only reserved for permanent residents and citizens of Canada.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And some sites, you have to show proof of residency or citizenship to purchase domains that are .ca. So that's why you find a lot of people have .com, .org, .ai, .io. Yeah. That's mostly for tech companies, though.
Yeah.
But I found that, and at the time, I wasn't a PR. So I was like, because I think the initial name I wanted was available at .ca, but I wasn't PR, so I wasn't able to get it.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's a
thing.
Well,
I guess it's the privilege, because
no, you're speaking for privilege. No, facts.
No, because again, like sometimes you don't realize you have certain privileges until you hear someone saying like, oh, because I didn't know that was a thing.
Yes.
And I came here as a PR and now a citizen. So I just went on Google Domain and the name was available and I just chose it. So
yes.
That's good to know.
But go on, tell me more about.
So Ashabi is a handmade, crafted with love, beaded accessory business. So we make things such as bags, wallets, we make beaded belts. We're expanding. Oh, hint, hint. We're expanding into, things you can wear on your body.
Stop.
Summer is coming and we want our Ashabi babes to be out there living their lives,
And guess who's an Ashabi babe? Me.
She is the ultimate Ashabi babe.
Excuse me, you mean I can wear... say no more. Here's my credit card. But tell me more.
So, it's a beaded accessory business. Everything is handmade by me for the longest time. And I must say now that I'm actually learning to let go of certain things and
That's
delegate.
Difficult, though.
It's very, very difficult.
Very.
Nothing prepared me for how much toll it will actually take on me to actually let go of some things, because I can't do everything by myself.
That's true.
And I would like to believe that, I'm perfect and I can do everything by myself.
But That's also true.
Sister, who are you deceiving? So,
what's your biggest challenge with delegating or like letting go? Like what does it for you where you're like, nah, I can't do this?
Trust.
Oh.
Yeah. Because, in case you don't know, now I'm about to expose myself. I am not artistically gifted, like in terms of drawing and things. So if you look at my sketchbook, you'll be like, what's going on? This? It wouldn't make sense to
but you get anybody. It though.
But for me, because it's just pretty much straight lines, just a line, and I just label and I know what I put down. But if someone else were to look at it, it probably wouldn't make sense.
Yeah.
So it's having to explain that to someone else to, ensure that they understand it properly, and also to trusting that they'll make the product quality enough.
The way you would make it.
The way I would make it. Because if I make a bag and it's not sitting right, I'm not sending that out to anybody.
Yes.
I would rather keep that for myself and carry it by myself, but I'm not going to send it out. So it's trusting that the person that you want to do anything for your business would take it as seriously as you would. That's.
Let me tell you something. When I started my business, because I can relate to you so much right now, and I feel so thin. When I started my business, I tried to design the website myself. If you know me, I'm not a tech bro. Like, I work in tech as a marketing professional, but like I have never created a website before. So what was I thinking? I was just like, I have superpowers. I can do everything myself. I don't have money to hire anybody. In fact, nobody knows how to bring my vision to life, right? And the website was shit. It was horrible. Like today, I still look back and I'm like, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
And then I was like, okay, fine. My brother is a web developer. Maybe I can trust him. But sometimes like we'll get into it because I'm just like, you're not doing this thing like as fast as I want.
And that's even your sibling.
And that's even my sibling.
Yeah.
And so I think last year or 2 years ago, I was like, you know what? I want to outsource some stuff because again, I have a full-time job.
Yeah.
Maybe I can like hand over social media management to somebody else. Absolutely not. I was stressed.
Oh, I think we might be different in that aspect. I would rather have someone just take it. Just take it. I can't deal with it. I like to go on social media and just scroll for a bit and be out of it. Like having to... It's just a lot for me.
That's the thing. Maybe it's because I'm a marketing babe. I've been a social media manager full time before. Even in my job right now, I'm a marketing manager, but like I also do social media, right? So I know social media. Like, so I'm also passionate about how my brand shows up. I'm passionate about certain things. Even my personal page, I manage it like, like not that seriously.
Maybe
but like,
I should to take over.
But at that time I was just like stretched. I was so stretched. I was like, I can't manage SoPlugged's Instagram anymore. And I reached out to a friend. And I mean, she was able to do it for a couple of months, but I was just like, you know what? Like,
it's not the way you want it.
No. Let's just stop, And like, for me, maybe it's a trust thing. Maybe I'm too controlling. Maybe I have this perfectionist thing in my head. But like, I find it hard to, unless it's something I know absolutely nothing about, I don't know how to like delegate.
Yeah.
But tell me more about like, your process of like growing your business. Because now you're saying you want to expand. So things are not going to be the same as when it was like smaller and niche. How is that going for you?
Expensive. Very expensive.
I feel you.
Yeah. The business, it's going to be 3 years this month.
Congrats.
Thank you. Sometimes I'm like, wow, I have a 3-year-old.
Yeah, it's like a child.
it's a child.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, if you don't pour into it, it's not going to grow. You can't just keep doing the same thing every day and expecting a different outcome. That's insanity. I think that's what they call it.
That's what it's called, yeah.
Yes. Trying to grow has been a learning process because I've had to learn a lot of things that, to be honest, I probably wouldn't have bothered with if I didn't have Ashabi to deal with. I have had to, pay for certain courses that I didn't end up following through with.
Okay. While we're on the topic, what courses?
What was it?
Was it Udemy course? Because like I never.
No. It was this business owner that did really well with her business, and she was teaching people how to do it. Like, a lot of people have done it, and they have like testimonies and stuff. But
master classes.
Yes, I did learn a few things, and I've applied them, but it's just not everything is going to work out the same way for everybody.
That's true.
You can copy the same recipe, but
the sauce.
The sauce gonna taste different.
That's true.
So that's one thing I've had to learn. But I've also had to learn to talk to people, or one person in particular, because I'm someone who keeps to themselves. Mm-hmm. I don't like, not because people don't care, but I just feel like I don't want to be a burden on someone. Mm-hmm. So I'd rather just deal with everything by myself. And after, just be like, oh yeah, this happened. But I'm learning to, as the process is happening, to confide in people and to share, because, problem solved is half. Problem shared is half solved. Yeah.
So you have an entrepreneur buddy, or is this like a non-entrepreneur?
Non-entrepreneur. And that's something I also have to work on. I know you're always talking about networking. I'm just like, I hear you, but
now that you've brought it up, because I wasn't gonna say anything but like for me, because I can relate to you, but it's like I just want to solve stuff. I come out on the other end and tell my testimony.
Yes,
I don't want to tell people the struggle. I want to be able to like figure everything out. But like last year, I think I went into therapy, and my therapist was like, "You need to share." Like, should we talk about that? And then, like, luckily for me, one of my close friends, she also has a business. So, like, one day, randomly, I was just like, this is what I'm dealing with. Like, and then we had a whole, like, session. Like, it wasn't a session. It was, like, 1 hour nonstop, us just, like, talking. And I was even giving her solutions. She was giving me solutions. It was so healing. Like, because for the longest time, I just felt like nobody gets it.
You were
Like,
alone.
I'm alone. I have to
Yeah.
figure this stuff out myself. And it's so lonely sometimes. And then now that I'm even being more proactive about going to networking events, I'm meeting so many people. You know, even though we don't even if I don't even further the conversation after the event, like just
Just
the
in that
conversation we're
moment.
having in that moment, it's so valuable that it has helped me so much. Like, and I'm like, okay, I don't even need to reach out to you anymore. Like, you've given me
Yeah.
so much. Like,
Yeah.
and it's eye opening. Like, first of all, you see things people are doing, you see things people are building. It inspires you. They give you
Yeah.
tips, and I'm like, I'm gonna go to like my goal this summer, one event every week. That's my goal. Do you want me to invite you?
Yes. I'll challenge myself to attend as many
I
as
love that.
possible because, like, no man is an island. No
True.
one knows everything. Like, I'm like, it's funny because I tell myself, you know, you should network more and talk to more people, but the flesh is weak sometimes.
No, honestly, you have to just go.
You have to. And the thing about me is I also don't like going to places where I don't necessarily know people. I prefer to go with one person.
One person, you know.
So at least I know someone. But sometimes life doesn't work out that way. You
That's
just have to
true.
go put yourself in
Out there.
yeah, but
You know what's funny? When you go to these events, you also see people that are shy. That's what's funny.
yeah.
And for me, like, I've been challenging myself because it's like when I see people I know with, I'm like the life of the party. I'm loud. But actually, the truth is, if I'm somewhere where I don't know anybody, I'm most likely just in the corner, like, observing.
Yeah. I tell people that all the time. They're like, what do you mean? You're not shy. I'm just like,
Yeah, around you.
exactly. It's because I know you and you know
Yes.
me. And we're comfortable around each other. But honestly, I think the last networking thing I would say was, well, obviously your event.
Okay.
And before that was it K-Scopes?
K-Scopes last summer. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So I know I should be because, you know, I want people to know more about my brand and my business. But it's just, I would rather just stay in my house
stay
and
home.
just, yeah. But I
feel you,
can't
though.
do that.
I feel you though.
Yeah.
I feel you though, because I'm just like, I want to meet other people. Starting this podcast, I want to meet other entrepreneurs that I can talk to about their stories.
Yeah.
I want to learn from people. And then whenever I go to these events, because my friends, like, it's not like they wouldn't come if I invite them, but they're also busy. They have their own thing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I have to go to this by myself. What can I do? Like, how would I put myself out there in a way that, like, people would... And that's why I came up with that tip. Where
I know,
like,
I saw
wear
that.
something, you know.
Yeah.
And like the last two events that I've been by myself, it has worked. I'm telling you from the door. People be like, "Oh, that's like you look nice. Where's that from?" And then I'll be like, "Oh, it's from here."
Yeah.
And then we start talking because it's just organic.
Yes.
You know, it's not an awkward. Hi, I'm Nina.
And that's the thing that I wouldn't say scares me, but that's the thing that I don't really necessarily like, having to force conversation in a sense. I'd rather just let it be organic and just flow. Because that way you're not thinking about what to say and you're not trying to sound prim and proper.
Yes. You just flows. Or maybe you can even try the other way. Maybe walk up to someone and be like, that's a lovely
nice
shirt.
outfit.
And then they'll be like, thank you. If they're me, I'll be like, thank you.
Yes. But sometimes you can get the other people that are just like, thanks.
That's true.
Yeah.
So honestly, people don't talk about how isolating entrepreneurship can be, because the truth is you're going to have other people in your circle that are not entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
They're not thinking, okay, I want to build. I want something like, I want to like grow this. I want to like scale my business. I want to expand. So they can't even relate to your struggle. And I think it's lovely that now you have someone that you're talking to about these things, because that's where you start from, right? And then hopefully, I'm really hoping to create a community where entrepreneurs can like come in, share their struggle, get help, help somebody else, and like we all grow together. And honestly, it's been a journey. But you said you have a full-time job and you also have a business.
Yes.
And how do you do that?
By the help of Jesus. No, it's, oh Lord, it's very hard because when I was a student, I was still a student last year. Funny story.
You have a couple of degrees though, right? You have a couple of degrees, right?
Just two. Oh yeah, a couple. Yeah, I have two. Up to June last year, I was still a student. So I was, and my classes were all online because of COVID and the thing that
Did
shall not be
COVID
named.
make you push you to start your business?
Yes.
Oh.
Funny story, Ashabi, actually, I started in 2018.
Oh.
I started with making, those coral beads that people wear to weddings.
I bought one.
You did?
Yeah, I still have it actually.
Really?
Yeah, the one with the cowrie, or like a shell.
Not that. Oh, no, not that one.
Okay, not that one. The bead.
The coral ones for weddings.
Sorry, I
started with that in 2018 and with bracelets and things like that. I don't know. I just stopped. And now that I think about it, it's like I started prematurely.
Oh.
I didn't know anything about business. I just wanted to make money, extra money.
I can make this.
Right?
Let me sell it.
Let me
Will you
sell
buy?
it. And it's funny. Yesterday because I was doing other things for Ashabi. Yesterday I was on Etsy, and I had an Etsy account when I first started. So it took me to my account that I had in 2018, and I saw the listings of the products that were on there. And I was looking at the prices I was selling them. I was just like,
what were they going for?
Where you think for the single men's necklace was like $28. Right? And for the double was like 50 something. I was just like, what the heck? Like, you're not going to make anything from this. But again, that speaks to the fact that it was a premature thing. There wasn't any thought behind it. So I just stopped. And then 2020 happened,
COVID, lockdown. Yeah.
And then I lost my job. Granted that it wasn't a job that I really liked or enjoyed. It was just something to make
Old
money.
Body.
Yes. But I lost my job and I was home, and I was just like, you know what? There's this thing I learned over a decade ago. Like, I can do something with it and just start it and see where it goes.
Yeah.
And I started making bracelets.
Okay.
So like the beaded bracelets. And I think I did that for maybe a couple of months, up to a year.
Okay.
But I didn't like it because it wasn't fulfilling. And there was also like this, I didn't enjoy doing it. Like people were buying, but I didn't enjoy it. So I was like, okay. I remember one of my classmates back in Nigeria, she was making a bag. And that was how I learned, actually. I learned from watching her.
Really?
So I was like, let me see if there's something on YouTube that, that can help me with this.
Yes.
And then I found people on YouTube that were making beaded bags as well. So I, YouTube University.
It always comes in clutch though.
It does. So I watched some videos and, learned and bought the materials and started doing, took me a while to like actually get the form but yeah. That's COVID pushed me to start the business.
COVID pushed you, but then you got a full-time job.
Then I got a full-time job.
Was it a shock at first, like having to transition into like working 2 jobs now?
Well, actually, so before the full-time job was the school. So I had like 2 years of school when I was doing that here and there. And the thing was, the products were made to order. So I'll make them when people order.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yes. And then full-time job happened, and I'm starting to think that if I actually want the business to grow, if I want to scale the business to the level that I want it to be at and the level that God wants it to be at, I can't continue doing made to order.
DM for price. Were you doing DM for price?
No. We don't do that.
We don't do that over here.
We don't do that over
Come
here.
on,
That's
Chelsea,
not how we have to Lagos.
Yeah.
No. I had the business from the beginning. Okay. Even in 2018, I had the Etsy website.
No, that's true.
And then I had Wix.
Oh.
And then when I did a rebrand 2 years ago, I
used Square or something.
I used Shopify. I went on Shopify and I designed the website myself, the Ashabi website, and I did that myself. But yeah, with a full-time job, I think it's having to prioritize.
Yes.
And also knowing that, my 9 to 4:30 is for my full-time job when I'm in the office.
Rookie, please.
And then after that, so like business. My evenings and weekends, it's business.
Yeah. So where's your life in all of this?
So yeah. And that's another thing that I've had to work on as well,
Yeah.
And thank God for like, an understanding partner.
Yes.
Because it's not easy. And, if you ask him, he'll tell you I'm a workaholic.
Same.
I don't think I am, but...
Same. Because I'm always thinking, fun. I go out. But then my boyfriend always says, you work too much.
Yeah.
If it's not your full-time job, it's so... I'm just like, first of all, I'm an entrepreneur.
And then it's funny because in the same breath, they're saying, oh, well, I cannot wait to become an outsourced band.
Are we the same person? No, because people don't talk about how having a full-time job and running a business affects your interpersonal relationships.
It does.
Especially romantic relationships. Because like if my weekends are taking, like I'm here on a weekend recording a podcast when I could have been at brunch, you know? Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like it's a whole thing and it's like, oh, I didn't realize I was a workaholic until I started my business.
Yeah, because, you know, until you're in a position, you don't really know what you're going to do with it. But I think, again, prioritizing and also ensuring that, you know, this whole work-life balance that we're always screaming that it's non-existent, but you actually have to strive and work really hard at it to actually be intentional about it and ensure that you're creating time for yourself, for your own self-care, for your partners, if that applies to you, for your family members, and for your friends as well. Yes. That's just 4 groups already. And then you want to, you know,
there's only 24 hours in a day and 7 days a week. How am I supposed to create time for my full-time job? Because my full-time job funds my business. Let's be real. It's great time to put value into my business so it can grow. Create time to be with my partner, with my family, with my friends,
network,
with myself, network, go to therapy, drink water,
and mind your business.
These are the issues, you know. Have you ever been burnt out?
Yes. With my career and with Ashabi.
Really?
Yes. With my career, honestly, girl.
It's not that day. I just closed the laptop. I'm just like, I can't.
Oh no, 4:30 like this.
I can't do this right now. Like
you were saying, I'll reply to that tomorrow.
Or next week.
Or next week. Excuse me. But with Ashabi, I actually had a period where I was just so emotionally drained. And I felt guilty for not doing anything because I wasn't posting on social media.
Yes.
And like
the algorithm.
Child, I don't even bother with the algorithm. What? I don't know what that is. But I wasn't posting on social media and I felt like it felt as if like I was missing out on something or like, you know, like people were forgetting about the brand, but it's also like the people actually care enough would remember the brand. But I was also, it just felt very daunting. And I was like, I need to take a break. And I was telling my boyfriend, I was like, I'm just tired. And I don't want to quit, but at this point, I'm just tired. Like, I don't have anything to give at this point.
I feel so seen.
And that period, honestly, like I'll go on Instagram, obviously, and I'll see people posting about their business. And I'm just like,
this should be me.
What are you doing? You should be, like, this should be, like, you have to, even when you don't feel like you have to show up. And I think that can be a very dangerous statement, even when you don't feel. Sometimes you have to listen to your body.
Yes.
Because when you push your body to the limit, then what do you have to fall back on?
Yeah.
So like being burnt out, like just take the break. Like the business will be there. God forbid something bad happens to you, then
you and your business are gone.
Yeah.
Like people don't talk about the guilt that comes with not showing up because you want to like take a break, you want to rest, you want to recover. Because when it comes to having a business and having a job, even if you don't have a job, even if it's just your business, you keep giving and giving and giving. You're putting all of yourself into this business. Most of the time it's just you, or maybe you and somebody else. Yeah. And both of you are just giving and giving. But like when you even take that time to rest and recharge so you can give some more, there's also that guilt of like, what are you doing?
Yes.
You're just lying there.
Why are you resting?
What are you doing?
You're not a billionaire.
You've not made money yet. Dangote is still looking for money. You are here rest. Like, do you get there's that guilt. And sometimes it's like self-inflicted. Sometimes it's from your friends. They're like, I've not seen you posting anything. And those people, I'm sure they don't have horrible intentions. They're probably just like really, truly haven't seen, because you know how the algorithm is. They're not going to see
They're
you.
not.
And then when you make the comeback, Instagram is now pushing your stuff down. You know, it now takes time to get back to it, and then you're trying to grow. And before, you know, it's just a cycle, because before you now need to rest. You know, so
and that's something I've also with the algorithm. Like again, I'm not a social media manager or person, to be honest. I'm not a marketing person. With Instagram and TikTok, I've had to learn not to focus too much on the numbers.
Okay.
And to just take it as it is. Like the people it needs to reach it will reach them.
Yes.
It can be very hard because, you know, you post a reel today and it's like 15,000 views, and then tomorrow you post and it's like 100.
One time I posted a TikTok, it took me days to edit.
Yeah.
2 people.
Yeah.
I said, excuse me.
And sometimes you were like, let me just delete this and repost it, but
what if?
Yeah.
What if? And I'm just like, wait, have I lost the sauce? What do you mean 2 people?
I have a video on TikTok that has over 300,000 views. I know. Tell me if I've made any thousand.
That's another
since then.
thing. Because it's what they call it is vanity metrics. Like, okay, this million people viewed. Okay, but then TikTok also makes it hard for e-commerce businesses as well. Because on like Instagram, you can't just like tap to shop.
Yes.
You can't just like link, like, you know, it will first like take you to the link in their profile.
Yes,
then
and then it tells you your
error. You are leaving TikTok. Then before you now leave TikTok. But then I'm
By
already
the time you get there, you're tired.
I don't even know what I'm doing here. How
Yeah.
did I get here? But like Instagram at least is a bit easier to like shop. You can just tap to shop.
Yeah.
But like sometimes people will view, and then it doesn't convert.
Exactly. And that's why I'm saying, of course, the numbers are great.
Yes.
It means people are seeing what you're putting out. But it's also, if you have 15,000 views, are you making $15,000
My dear.
from your business?
My dear.
Or are those 15,000 people actually going onto your website to see what you're offering? If it's 2 people that are seeing the videos, but those 2 people are converting, then you're winning. So it's very hard to see that, this person. And at the beginning, I used to compare my business to other people's businesses.
Child. I still do sometimes.
There were people who started business at the same time, and I would see like, you know, the growth and like, this is so that, this is so that, and I'm just like, Father,
am I a dog?
I don't understand. Like, I don't want to be a mechanic. Like,
I'm telling you, because like even like I've been telling people how like I just want to apply for funding for SoPlugged, get grants, and I'm seeing today you open LinkedIn. Oh, I've gotten $30,000.
LinkedIn.
And I'm like, am I not doing something valuable? Like, why am I not getting the same opportunities? Why am I not getting the same? And honestly, I was listening to something, and then they were just saying, it just takes one. It just takes one opportunity.
It takes
to
one.
click.
Yes.
It just takes one person to find you. It just takes one person to watch your reel, and like it blows. But you have to keep
doing it
until that one comes. And I'm like, okay, that's great. Aspire. That's great. I feel so motivated. I'm going to go lie down. What do you mean it takes one? Like I've been doing, hundreds of people have been coming here. Why is the one not in there?
And I think, not to be a preacher, but that's you know, that speaks to one of the fruits of the spirit, you know, patience.
Patience.
You gotta be, honestly, if there's one thing being a business owner will teach you,
patience,
is how to be patient.
Jeez. Because the devil will always test you.
Allah, Jesus.
This morning alone, like the devil will always test you. This podcast is brought to you by SoPlugged, an online directory of Black-owned businesses in Canada. We also work with entrepreneurs to improve their digital presence with custom-made websites, social media advertising, and product photography. To learn more about SoPlugged or to list your Black-owned business for free, visit www.soplugged.com.
Yeah.
But how do you get yourself out of that funk though? How do you say, okay, you know what? Road to 1 million. Let's go.
I binge watch Netflix.
I'm screaming, what are you watching right now? What are you watching right now on Netflix?
I'm actually watching a lot of different things. I'm rewatching NCIS LA. I'm rewatching Criminal Minds. I'm rewatching Law and Order.
You finished Criminal Minds?
Girl, I've seen like 5 times.
Child, I got to season 6 and I felt like I was becoming psychopath. I'm just like, these people are crazy.
Don't tell Dami says I'm a psychopath.
No, because I feel like at some point it was not transferring onto me. I was like,
you have to take a step
is this
back after
person
that.
transporting a body? Like when I'm just driving, I see somebody acting funny. I say, are you about to start shooting on the highway? Like, do you get like? But I'm still on season 6. I have to like take pauses.
Really?
I have to like watch light stuff in between because I'm just like I don't want to be.
I've rewatched Criminal Minds like 5 times.
Yeah, definitely. Rookie, bombastic sad eye. Excuse me.
No. Like, I actually really thoroughly enjoy shows like that.
Oh, yeah.
I did psychology my first year of university.
Okay, now it's
and I'm just
sense.
very intrigued by why people do things the way they do.
Yeah.
So, like, shows like that, that's where you catch me. I actually used to watch this podcast called Murder, Mystery, Makeup on YouTube. Like, actually real life stuff. Like, she'll be doing her makeup and be talking about, like, real life crimes. I'm just like, really? It did that. Wow. But yeah. So yeah, to get out of the funk, you have to listen to your body. You have to do things that, even if it's just to stay home and rest, you have to do that. If it's to binge watch or just binge eat, I wouldn't recommend that. But
I always
if that's
know
what your body needs,
that's when I'm just like, I'm binge shopping, I'm binge eating, I'm binge everything else except binging my business.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything else except my business.
I think you have to give yourself give yourself 2-3 days. And after the third day, you have to force yourself out of it eventually, because you can't stay.
That's true.
In the funk forever. Yeah,
that's true. But okay, so tell me about this pop-up that's coming up. Tell me more. What can I've RSVP. The moment I said say less. I blocked my calendar. I'm like, I'm going to be there. What can I expect from you when I get there?
Well, the first thing, the pop-up is to celebrate the 3rd anniversary or birthday, as I refer to, because Ashabi is my child,
your child, 100%.
So yeah, it's the 3rd birthday, and the solo of the pop-up is to meet our Ashabi babes, right?
Am I going to have a high table? And when I walk in, the champion is here. Like, I'm joking though. But so we're going to be meeting other Ashabi babes.
Ashabi babes, and just getting to know each other. I mean, to be honest, besides you, I don't think I really know any other. I mean, except my siblings.
All of my brother's girlfriends. Yes. All of my friends.
Yeah. So it would be nice to meet everyone and actually talk to them. And, if people have questions, then I'm there to be able to answer the questions. If they're questions, I'm able to answer.
I love that.
But also to launch our new products.
That's true.
So the new products will be available first come, first serve, obviously, but it would also be launched to the people at the pop-up. It will be available online, but it will be after the pop-up. So yeah, but it's also to display other products as well. Maybe if you wanted to buy something and you maybe you need it tomorrow and you can't wait for the shipping period, you're able to get it there and then. And yeah, again, to launch new items, for the men.
For the men.
Something for the men.
Ashabi
Finally,
men.
after
Ashabi
3 years. Ashabi men,
yeah.
And to also dabble into something slightly different, just to see how people react to that, and that we can make decisions based on that. I keep saying we, but
it's you. No, it's fine. I also talk about my team. Our team will, I feel you. But actually, something you said, you've been at this for 3 years. What was the first big mistake you made that you were like, I didn't think about this business thing properly? What was the first thing that you're just like, I messed up?
Starting. No, okay, not like that. Not like starting, but like the beginning. I did not take time. Even though I knew what I wanted to do, I didn't do any research. I started with, what was it called? CERB, CERB.
Oh.
The government during COVID. Yes.
Justice checks.
Yeah, the checks were clearing.
Okay.
I was like, I have to put this to good use. Like, I was saving up to, move out and get my own place, but also I need something else to do. So that was what I started with. But as the money were coming, I was just putting it to buy.
So you didn't have a separate account for your business, and let's talk about that. Let's actually talk about that.
No.
So was that your second mistake then?
Actually, maybe I should say that was the first biggest mistake, honestly, because I didn't have a separate account. So the money was going straight into my personal accounts, and I was taking it from there and just buying things. I wasn't tracking what I was putting into the business.
Same.
So if you ask me today, sister, so
what was the capital you put in?
I don't know.
My credit card is saying is shy.
I don't know. I do not know. If you're thinking of starting a business, get a business account. Or it doesn't have to be a business account, but get a separate account.
Even if it's just a separate bank account. But if you're looking for a business account, SoPlugged, BMO needs to run me my check, by the way. BMO has a free business account, free.
Is it the online one?
The e-business account, because you don't need to go into the.
You don't, but I want to be able, because sometimes I do buy things in person. So I want to be able to actually use
Yeah,
my...
they give you a card. They give you a debit card.
And okay. Because I'm with RBC, and the one I have, you can't really
No, they give you a debit
buy
card.
with it. I have a debit card, but you can't really...
No, you can tap.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I'll probably change
You
to
can
be
send
more.
Interact, you can tap.
Yeah, I can do all that. It's just I can't
Is it free?
buy
The one at
things.
RBC?
No. It's $5. Yeah, I should transfer to
Yeah.
Bimo running a check
Be
right
more
now.
running my check right now.
But yeah, no, yeah. Not creating an account and not also keeping track of my personal investments into the business.
Yes.
Because even till today, honestly, I don't keep track of my personal investments. Like I'm just
putting,
just putting it in. And I'm also not keeping like track of receipts for filing like tax.
Is your business
purposes.
registered?
It's registered for what? Like actually just business registration?
Yeah.
Yes, it's registered.
As a sole proprietorship or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah. It's not registered for HST.
Yeah, you don't need that until,
I don't. Yeah.
But maybe you might be nearing that.
By God's grace.
You might be nearing that benchmark.
But yeah, and yeah. I think I would say that's the biggest. Not keeping track of my finances. That's one of the biggest.
Yeah, honestly, I feel you. Like the same thing happened to me when I launched SoPlugged. I was just using my personal credit card. Like I'd be like, okay, maybe I'll open something else. But by the time I open something else, before you know, I've already shopped on Zara or something. I've already mixed it up with my personal expenses.
Yes.
So then I'll now say, okay, maybe I'll open another account for my business, right? But then it's so convenient because I had a personal credit card. So I'll pay for all our server costs, all the website stuff. And then one day I just really sat down with myself. I'm like, you know what? Open a business account. Like and then thankfully I found out about business and BMO's thing. So I was like, you know what, it's free.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's giving me a sense of like, okay, I'm seeing where the money is going.
Yes.
Even if I'm transferring money from my personal, because it's self-funded, I'm funding my business right now. I'm still seeing, okay, I spent on this, I spent on that. This is my monthly cost.
Yeah.
I'm getting a good idea of like revenue, costs, and it puts everything in perspective.
It does.
Because if you're just swiping your card, you're just like, I'll pay it off. That's not to pay it off. I'll pay it off.
Yeah.
Do you get? But I think that's actually a good advice for people. What about someone that wants to go into like handcraft, beaded accessories? What would you advise them to do first? Should they just come to you and say, you know?
I'm still learning. But I would say one thing you'll probably not realize is that there are a lot of people doing the same thing as you already.
For real?
But you don't know it until you start doing it. Because when I started, I was like, nobody's doing this. And then I started seeing Instagram accounts pop up. I'm just like, oh, wait, no, there are a lot of people doing this. But do not look at that. Like, every freaking market is saturated. So you have to do what
but they don't
you
have
want
you.
to. Yeah. They don't have you. So you just do it. And I know like handmade things they take extra time compared to, all these big stores, Zara.
Dropshipping, fast fashion.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They have all these billion machines doing everything for them. But if you're actually doing things by hand, it takes time. And one advice I would give is do not sacrifice your quality for quantity. Because
Preach on it.
because it can be very easy to want to, you want to grow and grow and grow. And if you're a person of faith and you're praying, God, like, let my business blow. If the business blows today, do you have capacity to fulfill all the others that you may get? Because that's a prayer I used to pray before. Like,
and
God, I want my business to blow. I want my business to blow. And then I'm like,
actually,
sister, if this business blows right now,
what will you do?
It's going to explode. Because I can't, if I get 10 orders today, I won't be able to fulfill everything at the same time.
Yes.
And excuse me.
Sorry.
And handmade things are things that you have to take your time with. You can't rush them. And it's also difficult to train someone to do the things that you do the way that you do it. Because one thing I've been thinking about is in terms of delegating, if I want to start hiring, when I get to that space of hiring people to do, like to make the product, I have to train them.
Yes.
And that takes time.
Time and effort.
The time I'm using to train them.
Time and money, actually, because time is money.
Yeah. And the time I'm using to train them, I could be fulfilling orders. So, yeah, just take your time and do it. Slow and steady wins the race.
That's true.
Take your time. If it's one person that is buying from you consistently and the person is always coming back. Nina. If the person is always coming back, that says something about you your product.
Yeah.
It means they trust you enough to be able to say, oh, this person has dropped a new product. Let me
get
tap.
that. Yes.
Like, I need to get that. Even before you finish dropping, they already picked it up. And it says a lot rather than, blowing so fast that you're now sacrificing the quality of your products because people are going to talk.
Yes. Have you had any bad customer complaints?
No.
Oh, I knew it.
No.
I said, whenever I carry my Ashabi beads bags outside, people are like, is that Ashabi? And at the point, anytime I'm going for weddings, literally, I'm like, how can my which Ashabi bag will fit this thing? Like, and people already know that.
Yeah.
And like, for you, for a brand, that's a strong thing because that's brand awareness. Like, people know your brand. People already know that, like, this is what I'm supposed to use it for.
Yeah.
And that's where you always get repeat customers, referrals. And that's like...
And that makes me really happy. Like, every time I get a repeat customer, I'm just like, these people actually trust me enough. Recently, actually, I shipped out an order on Friday. And by Sunday morning, as I was entering church, actually, I got another order from the same person. And I was just like,
big money, Rooks.
I was like, wow, you must really trust, you must really like the bag and trust
You're doing a damn, like, you're doing a good thing.
And it's also, I actually got a message one time. Someone was like, girl, I just walked into Zara and I saw this beaded bag and I was about to go fight them. Like, why are you ripping out?
Zara, one thing they will always do is they will always copy. They will always copy.
She was like, I was about to fight that. Or like people will send me pictures of different items and they're like, oh, like someone's wearing a beaded bag or something like, oh, is this your bag? I'm just like, no, it's not. But for people to be sending that to me, it's because they know about the brand.
Yes.
And it's also, sometimes we're thinking, I want a celebrity to mention my brand so I can blow. But are you appreciating the people that are actually supporting you right now?
Yes, yeah. Oh, Ricky, you're preaching. I feel like you need to come back on the podcast because, like, what you're saying actually, I heard this from someone the other day, and she was like, she has a fashion brand, and she was like, she was waiting for celebrities to wear her stuff, but she didn't realize. She called it whether horizontal placements, like people in her peer groups were pushing. Oh. There's a word for it. They were pushing her products more. And those were bringing them customers. And she was like, she didn't think, this person has an influence because maybe they didn't have any social presence. But they were like telling a friend to tell a friend. And that grew a community of people that knew her brand. Yeah. And celebrities, they'll post, but like, does that have any value? Is that what you actually want?
I mean, it will make you money, but...
Will they? Because a lot of people give stuff to celebrities for free.
I haven't done celebrity. Oh, I don't have money for celebrity. But I did an influencer, and
I think I saw that.
Yeah, but it's interesting because you don't, again, like, you have to appreciate for lack of a better word, the little people that are supporting you. Talk less about
non-influencers,
not the non-influencers, the everyday people. Because like the amount of people you've sent.
See, let me tell you something. I'm not an influencer, but when I speak, the girls listen.
What do you mean you're not an influencer?
The girls listen.
You are an influencer. Like, she says something, I'm just like, oh, okay. Like, that advice you gave about, dressing up nice for it. I'm just like, okay, Nina. Like, I see what you're saying.
Value to the table.
Yeah. And also, I've had people, order from the business and say, oh, my sister got this and I really liked it, so I'm getting it too. Like, they will actually put a message when they place an order.
Oh, I love that.
And things like that makes me happy. And another thing is getting new customers. People I don't know from anywhere. Yes. And I'm looking at the name, I'm like, who? Like, every time I get an order, I tell my boyfriend, I'm like, babe, I got an order today. And it's like, wait, do you know the person? I'm like, no. It's like, oh my God. Like, it makes me very happy when people I don't know from anywhere.
They find you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that.
And then they come back.
And then they come, Ricky, you need to start a masterclass, how to build a success. Because return customers is where the money is at.
That's where the money is at. That's where, and beyond the money, money is great.
Yes.
Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Money is great.
Honestly.
But again, it goes back to trust.
Yes.
Because I know that the customers that Ashabi has right now, if they're looking for a beaded bag, I know Ashabi will be the first place they'll go to.
Yes.
And that says a lot. And it's funny, having this conversation right now, I'm just like, it's funny because I'm like, I've been thinking that I'm not doing enough. Like, people don't know about the brand. But this conversation right now is making me realize that, the people that care, actually care. They will come. I had someone, they were traveling back to Nigeria and they were like, can I get it this day because I'm going to Nigeria? And I was like, yeah, of course. Like I sent it to them. They were like, thank you so much. Like this is really nice. And I'm thinking like, I know a lot of people in Nigeria that make similar things.
Yes, they could have easily gotten that bag in Nigeria.
And it's funny because they actually saw the item on someone else. Like, yeah, they saw the item on someone else and they were like, I really liked it. So like, I'm getting it. Just like, and honestly, I always say that nothing can promote you better than word of mouth.
Than your customer. Yes, people need to know this because people don't have word of mouth. They now want to use social media, advertising, all these things. But like
all
it
these
doesn't carry this
influencers,
influencers that don't have your sauce. They haven't experienced firsthand what it is like, the customer service. They haven't experienced what it is like to order from you.
Yeah. And that's why it's very important to treat every customer like your life depends on it.
Yes.
Like your business depends on it. Because it takes one person, one bad product for them to be like, yeah, don't trust that business.
Yes.
Don't trust that person. Don't ever go back to them because they did this, da. Like I bought the bag today and the bits were falling apart into this. People always ask me, if I drop the bag, will the bits fall apart? And I'm just like, no. Like for me to, if I make a mistake on an item, I have to take like a scissors or like a shear to like cut the wires and remove them.
It's really strong.
And even at that, like I still got to cut more to remove everything. Really so quality is very, very, very,
Do you know what's funny? I was at a wedding, or actually I was going to a wedding and two of my brother's girlfriends like walk up to me. They're like, oh my God, Nina, like, look at my bag, It's Ashabi. I was like, look at my bag too. We're all Ashabi. And like, it was such a moment for them because they were like, I have this thing that Nina has been raving about. And I was like, everybody's catching
funny. The first time I met your boyfriend goes, you're Ashabi.
No, honestly, I love that because it's one thing for me to have a good experience and then I recommend it and then someone else is like, no, I didn't have a good experience. Like, that's why I didn't order. Like, I've had stuff like that happen where I'm like, I rave about something. I'm like, yes, they are good. And then I didn't realize that they were good just for me. Somebody else goes and then they're like, no, I didn't have a great experience. What are you talking about? And then I'm just like, I'm grateful to like brands like you that like when people go, they're like, I had a great time. I've even gotten the second bag, a third bag. People send it to me like on the low. They're like, look, I've got to like, and I'm like, oh.
Yeah.
But I'm honestly grateful to businesses that prioritize customer service because that's the key to longevity. That's the key to growth.
It is. Yeah.
Before I let you go, where can people find you?
www. You can find us on ashabi.ca and that's ASHABI.ca.
We'll leave the link in the description as well.
And also on Instagram at Ashabi Beads. So don't forget, Ashabi means chosen for birth.
Yes.
And you are a chosen generation.
Tell them.
And you're chosen for whatever you believe you're chosen for. You're chosen for growth, for success, for
riches,
for soft life.
That's me. I'm choosing to. It's entrepreneurship that's making me a hard babe. I'm a soft babe. Like, I love that. Thank you so much for coming on the podcast today, Ruki. I had a great time chatting with you. I feel like I need to bring you back because like there's just so much that we have to dissect and talk about. But I really had a great time chatting. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and TikTok at
like,
TBM.
comment, and subscribe.
Tell them. Like, comment, and subscribe. And follow us on Instagram and TikTok at TBM_podcast.
And SoPlugged as well. Follow SoPlugged to stay plugged.
Yes, this podcast is brought to you by SoPlugged.